so he can join me. I just need to see his name. Okay, it's not this one. I got a lot of my little windows open up. Hold on. Okay, so I'm open on 2 on here. Okay, hold on. Let's close you out for a minute. Y'all give me one moment, okay? Discard this. Give me one moment. I'm not trying to go on that one. I'm trying to go on this one. There we go. Now we talking. There we go. See her? And she is. Give me one moment. Some of you all going to be able to, you're going to be able to hear the interview, but you can't see the interview. But I'll post up some stuff. Let's see. Wait, add guest. I need to add a guest. So I am going to be interviewing the author, Eric Winfield. Eric Winfield is his name. Let's see if I can do it. This is him. I'm inviting him in the go live. Let's see how we do. Let me check it out. Let me be the one to check it out. We're just waiting on Eric. Hang on. We're telling more. Okay, Eric, I need you to go over to the real Debbie Curry. Let's see. I'm trying to invite you. Hold on. Y'all give me a moment. Work with me, okay? Okay. Yeah, you on here? Wait, is you in there? Hold on. Let me check it out. Let me be the one to check it out. Hi, Eric.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm just going to wait for her and we'll see what happens.
For real. Thank you. I haven't done... First off, wait a minute. I'm so excited to have you. I've been trying to push for this interview for a while now. So it's amazing to even have you on here.
Well, thank you for the invite. I'm excited to be on your show.
Thank you. We can see half of your face, though.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Hold on. I had it sitting up on this little thing, so...
we can see all of you now. Yes.
Okay. Hold on. This is so unprofessional of me.
I love the painting in the back.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see my whole face now.
Okay. So you and I met because we had a TV interview, last month? Was it last month?
Yeah. Last month.
And I watched your interview and I was like, oh my God, I really want to interview him. And I loved where your story was. And I was like, I want to hear more. What's going on? What's happening? What was the details? I want to get in his business. That's what I had said.
Right.
I want to go all the way in. And yes. I'm nosy. I want to dove in. I want to get in there because I'm like, I have my YouTube channel is about people going through life and how we can help them. We'll find a content, we'll talk about it, but we got to give a solution behind it, right? So I was like, hey, can you send me over? You sent me over the book. Fantastic read. Let me just tell you that right now. Okay. I enjoyed every bit of it. So I don't even want to hold the people up because this is ladies and gentlemen, this is really for me. I'm selfish because I really enjoyed the book. And when I saw you in the interview, I said, you know what? I would love to interview him. So without further ado, we about to get into Eric Winfield's business. Okay. Tell us exactly who you are, what you're doing, and what's going on.
Okay. So, as you know, my name is Eric Winfield. From the East Coast. I moved out to Arizona 18 years ago. Father, married, 3 beautiful girls. I kind of went through a rough spot in life. Basically just like a lot of us get kind of hung up in our younger years, and and mine was people pleasing.
Yeah.
So basically, I got kind of hung up in the people pleasing, and once I left high school and basically became an adult, that people pleasing led to me, being dared to do stuff in order to be a part of something, and that just kind of took me down the wrong road. I got addicted to some drugs.
Yeah, I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking, Eric. We keep it real. What did you get into? What was it? What's the name what you've done? What did you do? Tell on yourself.
I got addicted to women.
There was some
women.
and then,
but seriously, I tried out heroin, and I eventually got addicted to it, and it led me down a road for like 10 years. And in that 10 years,
what got you? But you jumping ahead of us. What got you addicted? What got you addicted to heroin? Like, what was that first time? What was that?
Well, the first time, to be honest, this is an adult show. So,
we keeps it real.
Right. So it was like, man, if you want to have a long sex drive, then this is what you need to try. So you tried
heroin because of for sex?
Pretty much.
Is that what a lot of people do? Okay, I don't know nothing about heroin. I'm gonna be honest. So maybe some of my questions. No, my questions are not stupid because I want to know. Okay, so does heroin, was that the motive behind a lot of people to start heroin because of sex?
I'm not going to say everyone.
Not everyone.
I mean, it's a downer. It's a downer. So a lot of people, they like it because of, the altering mood. It pretty much makes you kind of nod out, and like any other drug, people want your mindset wants you to think that it takes away your problems, which is only really a temporary fix, that it kind of takes away your problems.
So you did it.
Anything, once the high wears off, the problems are still there. So either you're going to deal with the problems, or you're going to find a way to get high again.
Right. So you were into women's. Well, I don't know what man that, straight man is not addicted to women's at a young age. You know what I mean? I get it.
Right.
And then that led you to getting into heroin.
Yes.
Okay. When you got into heroin, who did you experiment with first?
It was at the time, it was people that I was hanging around. That, when you're young and dumb, you like to think they are your friends.
Yeah.
But you later find out, it was just pretty much, I was there to do something, to be a part of the circle. And like I said, that's the reason that I started it, and I'm like, man, this can make me go for like hours. So pretty much every time that
when you say go, you talking about sex. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically what happened was, I started to experiment more and more. And then it got to, I started to kind of like how it made me feel. And then it got to the point, and I was like, I don't want to do this no more.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't know was I had been doing it a little too regularly. So now I have it. I'm addicted to it.
Right.
So basically, when I tried to stop, I'm going through these withdrawals. And
how long did it take you? First, do you remember how old you was at that time?
I was about 25.
Okay, so you were 25.
About 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long was it till you was like, you know what? I want to stop this. How long had you been doing it by this time?
Probably about 2 years.
2 years straight.
And the reason that I was ready to stop, you know, I had finally found someone that I wanted to settle down with. And I think you read it in my book. You know, I hadn't been honest with her, but she was a great woman. And I loved everything about her. And I'm like, you need to stop this, you know, so you can give her, because she was like doing everything to make sure I was happy. You know? Let
me dive into that for a minute, okay? Uh-huh. Okay. Now this now they haven't read the book, okay? I read the book, okay? So when I see my hair messing up, I'm sorry. So when you was with this young lady that was doing everything she can for you, you know what I mean? Loving you, wanted everything. You was with her the whole time you was on heroin?
Yes.
Were you cheating on her?
Not when I first started.
Okay. Were you cheating on her?
No.
Okay. Did she? I have a few questions. Okay. You did not cheat on her.
No.
Were you stealing money? Because I know some drugs will make you steal money and build money and stuff like that. Were you doing any of that?
Oh yeah.
You were stealing it. Okay. Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why she eventually left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she would give me money to pay the bills. You know, I would put some on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of times she thought I was at work, and I wasn't at work. So basically, my paycheck wasn't adding up to what I should have been bringing home if I was working the hours that I was supposed to, on top of her giving me, you know, money to take care of the bills, and not doing it, you know. So basically, she eventually figured out something isn't right.
Okay, wait. We jumping over. Debbie is nosy. We have established that. Okay, so you were stealing money, lying about going to work. So there was a lot of lying within your relationship, even though she had no idea about any of this. Is correct?
Right.
Okay, she had no idea, but she did have an inkling that something was wrong, but she couldn't pinpoint a finger on it. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So then you're stealing money, supposed to pay the bills, doing the drugs, getting heavily involved in it, lying come into play. So you were probably coming in, leaving out at all hours, and then coming in. And then when you come in, are you getting into arguments with her to make it seem like it was her?
Well,
I get deep.
Right. Now, that part, I kind of had a lot of freedom because she worked a lot. So basically, she worked a lot. So basically, when she was home, I was already home asleep, you know. So the only time we really saw each other were like on weekends. But the arguments did start to come into play because, you know, the longer you do something, the more careless you'll start to get.
Yes, that's the part I'm getting at.
So the friends that I had that wasn't using, they started to disappear. And all of these trashy people that I started to hang around started to appear.
You said the classy people that you were hanging around that were your true friends started to disappear. Correct. Why? Why did they see something in you? Did anybody say anything?
They just started to see a part of Eric that they had never seen before. You know, so you know, basically a lot of them, they kind of knew what was going on.
How did they know?
And they were pretty much from the people that I was hanging with. And a couple of them worked with me, and they would see me at work, you know. So it was, you know, when you're in the city and, you know, pretty much you know the streets, you recognize something real quick.
Birds of a feather flock together. So you couldn't get high with the people that were making a difference in your life. You were getting high with those that were doing the same thing that you were doing.
Correct.
And then, so did any of them try to say to you, "Hey, Eric, man, look, something, man, you going down the wrong?"
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Did you get mad at them?
Oh yeah. Because when someone is trying to give you tough love, but you haven't hit rock bottom, you will hear it, you agree with everything that they're saying, but you'll do the total opposite.
Mm-hmm. So did they say to you, did anyone at any point say to you, "Man, if you don't get this together, I can't associate myself around you anymore, no longer"?
They didn't really say that. They just pretty much just stop coming around, and take it a few years farther in. I got to the point. They would hit me up here and there. "Hey, we're doing this. You should come over." And they really wanted me to come so they could kind of have me around them. And I, on the other hand, if I went, I took it as an opportunity to convince them that I was doing much better, but at the same time figure out how to tell them that I had something like a bill due or something that I could kind of get some money out of it.
Right.
So I had ulterior motives.
Right. Now let me ask you this. The young lady that you were with at the time that loved you, doing everything for you, were they friends with your friends as well? The good friends, did she know of them, or did you just have separate friends?
Yeah, she knew of them.
Did any of them try to talk to her? Like, you didn't talk to
one of them, and I got so upset with him. One of them, when we decided we were going to get married, one of them told her, "You should marry him." And at the same time, even though I knew he had good intentions, I'm just like, "You my boy, how you gonna tell her that?" But he knew, she was a great person. She worked hard, and she was about to make a big mistake.
So that person really cared about you and her as well. Did you ever make amends with them to say, "Hey, back then"? Have you ever tried to reach out to any of those people?
Oh my goodness, we're the best of friends today.
Awesome.
Best of friends.
Awesome.
Best friends.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Now, how did she find out? I mean, even though when people are with someone and they're in a relationship with just that one person, you could tend to feel something ain't right about this relationship. How did she find out that you were doing what you were doing? And
basically, like I said, the finances started not to add up. She was giving me money to pay bills and I weren't paying them. So, at the time, we're talking about, like 1998, 99. So, cell phones wasn't that big. So, we had like the house phone that was getting turned off and stuff like that. And she's like, "I gave you the money. What are you doing?" And then my appearance, and I always
kept yourself groomed.
Right. I wasn't keeping myself groomed. And one day, we sit there. She was like, "What is going on with you? What is going on? You're not the person that I fell in love with." And I confessed and I told her, so she was like, "Well, what are you going to do?" So, I still was holding down my job. I had a pretty good job. So they had insurance that would send me to this place. So I went to this place to detox and do all of this stuff for 30 days. But I went for her. I didn't go for myself.
Explain that, because a lot of people do that when you're in a relationship with somebody and you care so deeply about them, and we try to make a change and try to help them to change and try to do nuances that can make them better. And it's like you say, it's not for yourself, it's for them. Explain, go into depth what that was like for the both of you.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, she never threatened. When I first sat down and, told her everything, she never threatened to leave me. She never said, that, this is it. I'm done. If you don't get yourself together, I'm leaving you. It was just more so of me, just confessing to her everything that I've been doing. And basically when she asked me, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, I was like, well, I want to get help. I want to get help. And, when I look back on it, it was more so because I had been caught red-handed, and I know what was going to happen if I could, continue to do it. So I really thought that I wanted, that I was ready to change. But at the same time, I ain't completely hit rock bottom. But I know that's what she wanted to hear. So, I was like, hey, I'm ready to change. I'm going to find somewhere to go so I can get myself together.
How was the confession for you? Like, what did she was like, I'm only going on how I feel. So was it like y'all was like, she was like, I'm tired. I don't know what's going on here. You need to tell me what's happening and so forth. Was it that type of argument, or was it a heavier argument?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was heavy.
It was heavy.
The F-bombs were dropping, and the MFers and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was pretty deep.
Right.
It was pretty.
And so you just, at that point, you like, how was that confession for you? Like, let me just tell her, was something in what made you like spill the beans? Like, what made you do that?
Well, it's almost like that brother that's in the interrogation room, and in Men's Society, when he was like, you done messed up. And you feel, well, I got to say what I need to say so I can say but. Mm-hmm. So pretty much, I just confessed it. The tears was rolling, because you got to sell. You had to say. I
was finna say you was playing the part. Right. I get it.
Yeah, you had to sell your story. So that's pretty much how it flowed. So I eventually went off, and like I said, I went to this place for like 30 days, did the detox, and they did everything. But anybody,
what you jumping? Did you play the blame game?
I did.
You didn't?
Because it was. I mean, I couldn't to her because it was
Smart
nothing
woman.
I could say. There was nothing I could say negative, about her. So I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I couldn't. Yeah.
And so you said you played the guilt part on her. I need help. Were you ready to stop at that time?
Like I said, I thought I was, but I really wasn't.
So you played the role with her. Okay, I need help. Help me, and so forth. And what did she do?
She helped. Pretty much, I did everything I needed to do myself to find the place. So basically, she took me there and dropped me off. And I will say, when I look back on it, I may have survived a little bit, but the whole time that I was in there, I kept a connection with like my closest running partner. So pretty much
nothing changed.
We all know you have to change everything. When you're looking to change, you have to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot go and you can go and do a total detox, clean yourself out, all of that. But if you come out and you connect with the person that you was running with, one of the things I learned, you can want that drug when you're out in the street, and nobody will ever give it to you for free. But as soon as you clean up and you got that glow again, they'll almost give it to you, for free, because people don't want to see you do good. People don't want to see you do good.
Did you feel like you sold your soul at one point? Like you was just you was just giving up or something? Can you explain? Did you feel any of those emotions?
Well, you get to the point where, you do the pity party thing, because your family done found out about you, your closest friends have found out about you, you could have been so careless that you've lost your job or whatever. So it's like, why me? I'm a good person. I haven't done anything to anybody, and everybody just targeted me, and it's just, yeah. So you kind of come down on yourself, but at the same time, it's like you're having a pity party, but you accepted the invite to the party.
Mm-hmm.
You're the reason that you're stuck there.
Mm-hmm. So how long were you in the facility to receive help? How long were you in there?
Well, that time it was only 30 days. It was only 30 days. Mm-hmm. And what I was going to say earlier was anybody that has been in, if you've ever had any type of stronghold of addiction or alcohol, drugs, or whatever, 30 days
is not enough. Mm-hmm.
It's
unless you're like ready, but like you said, you weren't ready for that. You was just trying to appease her because you probably didn't want to hear the argument. Did you see the pain and hurt that she was carrying?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
And so was it after you got out from the first 30 days? What happened after that?
Right back to the races.
Mm.
Right back to, I was slick with it. I call myself being slick with it, but, definitely right off to the races again. But this time I was trying to be slick. But it only lasted a good month before pretty much, she knew I was doing the same thing again. So I come home one night and all of my bags are packed up outside.
Wow. What was that like when you seen that?
Well, when you know that you have a strong individual, when they have enough, they've had enough. So it's almost like no need to even try to talk. It's no need to try to talk to them and try to
fix the situation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I took a shot at it, but I knew that it was pretty much a done deal.
So once you got your things, where did you go?
I ended up moving back in with my mom. Yeah, I ended up moving back in with my mom, which is something that no grown-up ever want to do.
And so living with your mom, did you feel like you were free to do more stuff? Or how were you?
No, not really, because that kind of put me in it kind of enclosed me in a box, because I was living in the city. My mom lives out in the country. So now I'm living somewhere where
it's far to get what you need.
Right. Right. It's far to get what I need. So basically, I had to try to, make sure that I purchased a nice amount when I was able to get to the city, so it would last me for a while.
So you was bringing this to mom's house. Tell on yourself.
But that didn't last long.
Did mom smart about it and caught it, or did you stop for mom?
Well, my mom is a very anointed woman of God.
Come on.
So, it's crazy because when I moved there, one of my best friends that we grew up playing in the dirt together. And he used to come and pick me up every morning. You know, we were working, you know, he had got me a job with him when I moved down there.
Mm-hmm.
But always go and try to do our dirt before we went to work. And my mom started coming out every morning before I left with her bottle of oil. And she was putting it on me. And it's funny because he would try to head out the door. But like I said, we all grew up together. So my mom and his mom were just like buddies.
Right.
And she was like, bring your long head here. You're going to get it too. And it got to the point that we would get in the car and we would be like, you know what, man? Let's just go to work. You know what, man? Let's just go to work. And, you know, true story, the urge seemed to get lighter and lighter, you know, to get high, you know, in the next, you know, few months or so. It's just like the urge became lighter and lighter.
Dang. So my eyelash is coming off of me right now. I keep dwelling with it. I'm so sorry. I want to go put some stuff on it right now because it's coming off. I'm like, is you going to act right or not on this live? And I don't think it is, so I might just snatch it. But anyway, so you guys decided to go. I am going to snatch it. I'm so sorry. Honey.
Snatch it.
Bring me. Don't show that on there. What's wrong with you? So when you, thank you, honey. When you guys decided to go back to work, did that continue or when did it stop? That you was like, man, I need this right now.
You know, that part didn't really never, we never really left work. But it wasn't too far after that, you know, and I know it's only because of, you know, my mom praying and, you know, pretty much, I'm just going to say the favor that I had over my life. It just got to the point that, you know, within about 2 weeks is when, you know, one day I decided not to go to work. And, you know, we went to the city and we ended up getting some and it was really strong. And I just remember laying out in the back seat and I don't remember anything for like about 15 minutes.
Are you serious?
And yeah. And the crazy part about it scared the heck out of me, but it didn't scare me enough
to stop.
So pretty much, literally 5 days later, which was July 7th, it's basically, it happened again. And you read about that in my book.
Yeah.
Basically, when I laid out in my mom's bathroom.
Explain that and elaborate a little bit more for those that don't know too much about what drugs can really do for you. Do to you in that phase.
Yeah, you know, because like for me, you know, it's it also, you know, drugs can do a lot to you, you know, health-wise.
Yeah.
And, you know, what a lot of people don't know, you know, I've had friends that were diabetic and they've eventually lost their life, you know, because of, you know, they were diabetic and they chased the drug more than they made sure, you know, that their sugar was where it's supposed to be, their level was where it's supposed to be, and they lost their life behind it. I had people that, you know, that I was connected to that they used drugs for so long that it destroyed their liver, you know, or they had, you know, hepatitis and they didn't know, because you really don't know. I think you have it for like 8 or 9 years. That's when it really starts to shut your liver down, and then it affects your kidney. But I know quite a few people that, you know, have passed away from that.
Back in those times, heroin had people like literally tripping, flipping out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it was crazy then. So you can imagine those that are on drugs now, how crazy it is. And we even see the video footage of people, the way things are. It's no drugs, drugs, people.
Yeah. Right.
And so when you were at your mom's house and you passed out, what happened?
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't know if I revealed it in the book, maybe I did, but I never even used the drug. I went in the bathroom to do it, but I never even did it. For whatever reason, I passed out, and I actually gave my doctor my book, and he read it, and what he said to me was, he said, I really believe that because I have blood pressure problems.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, I really believe what you had did early on that day, it had your heart racing so fast that your blood pressure was to the roof. And he was like, I really believe you experienced a stroke.
Ooh.
And that's kind of what blacked you out, and because all I can tell you, I was blacked out in there, for over 3 or 4 hours.
So when people experience strokes, they pass out?
And that was one of the things I asked him. He said, you can. He said, he was like, I'm not going to say you did, but it seems like to me, you could have had a stroke. He was like, I'm not 100% sure, but it's a probability that you could have.
What I was going to say, I think God was like, hold up a minute. Let me talk to you, son. That's what I think that happened, especially with your mom being so anointed and anointing you with oil. And I spoke about this the other day when we used to have people pray for us. Somebody prayed for me, and your mom, being a praying woman, was like, God, I'm going to need you to talk to him.
Right.
So
and he just laid me out in the floor. Let me lay you out before you even do this, because I might can't save you after you put this one in your body.
Ooh.
So let me lay you out before you even use it.
Oh, that's good.
All I know, I came up off the floor with my hands up.
Oh.
And I just gave it. And like I said, my sister was there, and she had gave me tough love for the past 5 years. And like I said, we say, after I smoke this cigarette, after I finish this pack, I ain't gonna smoke no more.
Yeah.
And then you finish that pack and you go buy you another pack. And I had said over and over, after I finish this, I'm done. And like I said, I had quite a bit that day. But when I came up off the floor, tears just was rolling. And like I said, it was over under my right leg. So, and she was on this side, so she couldn't even see it. So I could have easily slid it into my pocket, but I picked it up and I just gave it right to her, and her eyes were just like big, and tears just started rolling, because I guess she was like, if this Negro is giving me all of this, he
done. Yeah, he must be. And so what happened after that?
So, we went outside and we talked a while, she just loved on me. She was like, I've been here from day one for you. You have the power on the inside of you, to better yourself, but you have to want it.
Right.
And I said, I'm done, sis. I'm ready to change. So she was like, okay, I'm going to see what I can do. So she contacted her son's uncle, who at the time, he was working at this place, and they would send people to Kentucky, the halfway houses, and they had just started sending people to Arizona. But I knew tons of people that had been to Kentucky. So I was like, I don't want to go there, because I know tons of people there, and I know a lot of them, they went because they was trying to duck court cases. So with that being said, they didn't go for the right reason. So I came out here and went to a halfway house, got on the trail on the Greyhound bus. 2.5 days it took me to get out here, but do it all over again, I would do it again because it gave me so to look at all of the harm and hurt that not only had I caused myself, but I had caused the ones that was, close to me. And, it just made me figure out, what do you want to do with your life? Now you go into foreign territory, you don't know anybody. So it's either go there and change, or you can go there and start another chapter of what you just left in Virginia.
Right. And so once you got here and you're in the halfway house, you're learning the ins and out of the halfway house. A lot of times when you go to the halfway house, there's a lot of people still on drugs there.
True.
So how did you maneuver around all of that?
Well, and that's another thing. It was, I think, like 95. I think it was like 95 people there.
I was going to say degrees. I believe it.
Yeah. Well, no, it was 100 and something because I came in July. It was very hot, but it was like 95 people there, and about 80% that had to be their first stop out of penitentiary. And then you had some, they were working, but they had nowhere to stay. So they came there because you just paid $90 a week to stay there. So some of them were homeless. And then you had a small percentage like myself that was really trying to rebuild ourselves. So, it was definitely some drugs in there. And I'm from the East Coast, so I'm seeing these people. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him? And then people started to explain to me about this meth thing. And I'm like, whoa. And it's funny because I have been out here about 2 weeks, and I never forget it. It was an entire apartment unit. Not apartment. You know how they have the unit, like one standalone building, and the entire thing blew up and burned down. And we could actually see the flame from where we were at. And the news went on to say that it was a meth lab on the inside of there. And I'm like, well, if it blow up a building like that, think about what it's doing to your insides, So I was like, well, I know I want to try that, But it was more so when I got, I quickly learned like two people in there. One guy, he was from Africa, and he was just like the coolest guy, and very strong, very motivational, and a lot of my growth came from him, and we just held each other accountable,
That's awesome.
To be, because at first we were all in separate rooms. The three of us, we requested to be in the same room, and you were there for 90 days, so after work we would get together and just kind of, speaking to each other. We would get to go out to meetings and stuff like that, but
So basically, you had the good friends in the beginning. You transitioned them over to people that was the bad friends, and now you learned the difference between the two. So when you came out to Arizona, you then started over from ground zero to realize that you needed positive pushers so that y'all could push each other to be great.
You got it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you then talked about that you had met one of your friends and they were going to church.
Yeah. He actually came out. He ended up coming out from Virginia as well. About I guess John arrived about a month after I was there, and we used to work together in the city and stuff. So it was good to see a familiar face. And he one Saturday he said, "I'm going to church. My auntie is coming to get me to go to church." So I was like, "Ask her, can I go?" So he was like, he asked if she was, and she said, of course he can go. So, that just really, the birth of that is the reason that I ended up, because I was pretty much saying, I'm going to do my 90 days and I'm going back to Virginia.
Right.
She's responsible for me staying out here.
Awesome. Tell us the story. Don't skip over it. We want all the info.
Yeah. So it's an amazing story. She would come and get us on Sundays, take us to church. Sometimes we would go back over her house. But she would take us to the grocery store. When we get our grocery, we get to the counter. She's like, put that money back in your pocket. I got it. She would just pay for our groceries, and it was just amazing. She was just a beautiful woman. And one Sunday, we're at church, and after church, this young lady walks up, and she's like, this is my daughter, Alicia. And so I ended up meeting her, but I was, kind of checking her out.
You checking out the daughter?
I was checking her out, but at the same time, she was looking at me like he beneath me.
This is the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got this. I was like, hey, how are you? And she's looking at me like, hey, like, cause she know I'm connected with her cousin. So she like, that a halfway house. I ain't got time for that. But anyways, he ended up going back to Virginia, and so now I'm thinking, well, he's going back to Virginia, and now I'm probably not going to be able to get the rides to church anymore on Sundays and stuff, but she still continued to come get me.
Mm.
And, she ended up having a dinner, and she asked me over, and her daughter ended up being there. So, I just kind of tried to spark conversation with her, and it really still didn't go anywhere. She did give me her phone number, but it really didn't, I called her forever. She never answered. And then the portion you saw in my book that I wanted to go home for Thanksgiving, and her mom didn't like that idea.
Wait. Hold up. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. You wanted to go home. What home? To your mom's?
Virginia.
To your ex?
Yeah.
To your ex?
I wanted to go to Virginia. No, I wanted to go to Virginia to visit my mom.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you ever apologize to your ex about the way life went with her? Did you ever do that?
Oh, I did.
You did?
I did.
When did you do that? Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people let's be real. Let's keep it real. When people end up on drugs or alcohol and they doing whatever they doing, they never go back. Once that relationship is done and over with, they never go back to the person and apologize like, hey, I really took your life down the wrong way. I'm really sorry I did that. Had nothing to do with you. This was all me and the life choices in which I made. Some of them just blame it on the person so that they get, that's why I was like, where did you put the blame at? That's,
right.
When did you apologize to her?
After I was living out here, and, I was probably about somewhere 9 months to a year in my, recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you are rebuilding your life and you're taking the advice that's given to you, what many don't know, if you don't reach out and make amends with people that you have harmed or hurt, then, that's something that you're going to have to deal with later on in life, because you can't really 100% start your growth in yourself until you make amends with those that you have hurt. Now, what I tell a lot of people is, you can make amends, but don't get butthurt if they don't accept.
Right.
If they don't apologize to you, don't get butthurt. But at the same time, I know some people that they've been clean for 15, 20 years,
mm-hmm.
and they still, are torn at the fact that their kids or, something accept their apology. And I tell them, hey, you can't carry that burden around, because if you've been clean for 15 years and they still can't accept your apology and they can't see your growth, then they have to go on you. Mm-hmm. They have stuff on, they have some hidden demons on the inside of them that they're dealing with, because who can't apologize, accept someone's apology after 15 years of seeing that you've done amazing things in your life.
Mm-hmm. The thing about it is this too, like, even though some people can go back and apologize to that person, it's a choice. You didn't give them the choice of when you was, on the heroin or other people on whatever kind of drug. They're not giving them the choice to be like, hey, if I do this, do you mind? You're not asking, you're taking the choice from them. So if you go back and apologize because you've changed in your life, some people be like, you know what? I don't think I can forgive you, but at least you did your part. You know what I mean? Even you, at least you've done your part to start your new life. If a lot of people don't want to forgive you for what you've done, that's between them and God. You're not the accountability is now off of you, but now it's on to them because they don't have forgiveness in their heart to forgive what you've done.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we're back at the dinner night. Let's catch back up with the dinner. You at dinner? You trying to get with the daughter? Calling ain't working?
Yeah. Ain't working. So, I wanted to go home for Thanksgiving, and I've only been out here, since July. So her mom is like, I think that's too soon. I don't want you to go back to that environment. I want you to at least be here for like a year before you even go back to visit. And I'm like, I can't stay gone that long. I have a daughter that's there. My little stepson is there. I need to see them. I need to see my mom. And so she was like, well, how about I bring them here? And I was like, I had a job, but I'm like, I ain't making that much money to buy tickets and a hotel room. And she was like, did I ask you for any money? I'll bring them here and, I'll put you guys in a hotel. So, and she was like, you can get Christmas gifts since they're going to be at Thanksgiving, and you can just do a early Christmas.
That's nice.
So that's what we ended up doing. And her daughter ended up coming, and her daughter has a son. So in between, because they came in on a Wednesday. We stayed all the way to that Sunday. So we kind of had events going on the entire time, but in between the events, we got to hang out and stuff. So we ended up hitting it off. So we eventually would start to see each other, but we took it pretty slow. I explained to her, I'm in a point in my life where I'm trying to recover, so I don't want to, spend too much time with you and forget about what Eric needs to do for Eric.
I was gonna ask, who was it that wanted to go at a slower pace? Was it you or was it her?
Yeah. Well, and
scratch myself.
Once I said that, she revealed that, she hadn't been in a relationship in a while, and she really, had her guard up, and she really wanted to take it slow. But she definitely respected me for, what I said. So we pretty much, I think we may have seen each other like once a month. For like the first 4 or 5 months, we pretty much seen each other like once a month.
So how so that you two ended up together, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long after that did you two end up together?
Probably around the spring of the next year, we started to, we pretty much made it official.
Awesome. So
made it official.
Now, the moral of the story is that you are heroin. It switched, turned, changed your whole life around. Did you ever, anytime after that, have urges to get back into any of that?
You said, have I had urges?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not at all.
What is it that you can tell people about the life lessons that you learned when dealing with heroin, renewing your whole life, and picking up and starting over at ground zero and making a better you?
You know, for me, it was hitting ground zero, losing everything, looking at myself in the mirror, saying that I was five times darker than what I was supposed to be, you know, and just realizing that all of my friends, you know, pretty much had walked away from me. You know, I had a beautiful daughter and a stepson that I was, you know, putting, you know, behind the scenes because I knew my mom and sister was going to, you know, I put them behind the scenes and pretty much had gotten to the place I was unemployed and I had lost everything, you know, the house, the car, and it was embarrassing, but at the same time, you know, I realized that it was up to me, you know, you know, I still have breath in my body, I'm breathing, you know, and I got to the point, like I said, on that 2.5 day bus trip, all I could, gratitude, you know, because I realized that I could have easily died in all of it, but I didn't. So, you know, I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm being blessed with the new season, a new chapter. It's up to Eric to make the best of it. And it's crazy because once I got my job, you know, it was like I didn't want, you know, my mom, she started to see that I was doing well. And she was like, do you need money to carry you to payday? And I was like, no, because I didn't want any help from anybody. I got myself into this hole and I wanted to dig myself out all by myself. So one of the things that I learned was, you know, hey, with God my rock, and you know, having faith in Him and giving Him all my burdens and being willing to, you know, walk through humility as I bounce back. You know, as long as I stayed focused, you know, I would be okay. You know, don't worry about, you know, and one of the things I'll say to anybody that's watching that may be on this road is one of the things you cannot do is try too quickly to go to someone and say, hey, look, I'm doing okay. You know, I haven't used in 2 weeks. You know, when you've been crying that same story over and over for 4, 5 years, 10 years, 2 weeks is nothing. You know, it's a lot to you because you haven't made it 2 weeks in 10 years. But to that family member, they're looking at you like, whatever, you know, you'll be, you know, and they
counting you out because they think you're going to do the same thing all over again.
Right, exactly. And they'll tell you to your face, you know, we'll see where you at by next week. And if you're not strong enough, that'll push you right back out to where you were at. You know, so you have to be strong and willing to push through this thing. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're all by yourself. And, you know, you have to be willing to push through all by yourself until people start to recognize your growth.
You know what?
They really start to see.
I'm sorry. It's funny that you would say that because that's like building a business too. And it's like when it's new birth. So it's almost like labor pains. Like when you start something new, you got to go through the whole shebang all by yourself where it feels like you're alone. And then when God started blessing you even the more, then the people start coming because it's like proving like I'm serious about this. I'm going for this. I believe in me. And I'm going to accomplish this. So once you on the road and you believing in yourself, did it ever come to a point that where you like, oh dang, hey, you want to know how I'm doing? Oh, you want it, and and it becomes genuine.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by genuine people.
Right. And that's the thing. So many people quit because they don't have, you know, they can't comprehend the process. You know, when we say change, that don't mean change is going to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know, like for me, I had to change everything. You know, I had to change everything. So with me having to change everything, of course it wasn't going to happen overnight.
So where is Eric now? What is Eric doing now? And who is Eric? Introduce yourself to the world. Who is Eric?
Well, now I'm Eric. I run like 1,000 strip clubs.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah.
Who's Eric?
But yeah, today, you know, today more than anything, I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. You know, my life structure has been amazing. You know, and like I said in my book, you know, since I've started to rebuild my life, I still, you know, I didn't experience, you know, some people very close to me that, you know, passed away unexpectedly. You know, I went through the repos. You know, I've experienced evictions, but that stuff was because when I was out in the world, well, not the well, let me go back. As far as losing people close to me, unexpected death, that portion, I was strong enough to be there for my family, you know, and not have to worry about using to alter the pain.
Right.
You know, now the other stuff that I spoke about financially, when I said I had to change everything. So basically, you know, my credit score was horrible. And because guess what? When you're out chasing a drug, you ain't not paying no bills. So everything was damaged, you know. But I went through that process, and like I said earlier, you know, I did it with humility. I wasn't scared to open my mouth and ask for help, but I was able to bounce back, you know. And now, you know, it's just like I said, life is amazing. I've experienced so much growth, and as we're talking about this, you know, I wrote this beautiful book here, you know, and over, you know, I'm still, you know, it's what, 1 year and 2 months since I released it, and just great, you know, still getting great feedback, you know, and from the book, I've also birthed a podcast that we do weekly, and just I live my life now to pretty much help you know, inspire and motivate other people, you know, that has went through some form of hurt. You know, it doesn't have to, because like you just said earlier, you know, when you compare what I said to a business, you know, when you're bouncing back from anything, it's all done, you know, pretty much in the same process, you know, one day at a time.
Yeah.
You know, you have to use tools as they're given to you.
You got to walk along at times.
Right. And you have to figure out how you're going to erect with the tools that's given to you. So, you know, that's what I do now.
Question. Are you married now?
I am.
And who are you married to?
I'm married to that latest daughter that I took.
That's what I was waiting on.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that part in there.
So how did that come about? Like that when I read that part in the story, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we dated for 15 years.
Wow.
For 15 years. And one day I told her, I said, I ain't giving you no more of my goods until you let me put this ring on your finger.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Big ups to you guys. So you are an author. You are you have your own podcast. And you married the woman that stood by your side. Well, see, your mama, look, your mama praying for you, anointing your anointing you with oil, and her mama took you to church.
Right.
The dynamics of all of that is unbelievable. It is so fantastic.
Right.
And so that's so. Yeah, I would say keep on speaking to the people, keep reaching the multitudes, because your story is truly amazing. I would say people need to get the book. Tell us about the book. What's the name of the book?
Yeah, so the book is titled Lifestruction, a guide to how I rebuilt my life after defeating the stronghold of addiction. So
by Eric Winfield.
By Eric Winfield, yes. And you can actually get it at mylifestruction.com. So, the book is available. It's a great book. It just pretty much gives you my life story, but then it also gives you, pretty much the tools on how I rebuilt my life, how faith played a big portion of it, and how I was able to, bounce back. I also, I do a podcast. You can find the Life Structure with Eric podcast on Spotify as well as Apple podcasts. Pretty much sometimes I do it alone, but I do have guests that come on and, they just tell their story on, something that they went through in life and they were able to bounce back. So, that's what I do.
And he's married to his beautiful wife, which is, what's her name? Alicia. That was like, I ain't got no time for this. Now you got all the time in the world, Alicia. Congratulations on that. And then you were unemployed coming down here, and you got a fantastic job now. Nosy, all in your business, ain't she?
The job. I work for a great company.
Mm-hmm.
Work for a great company.
Yes, you do. Yeah, yes, you do.
You and my wife get those same benefits.
Because
not as much now as you did in the past, but.
So I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come on and connect with us and share your story, because there are so many people, so many more individuals that have gone through the same thing, and maybe a different, harder drug, whatever. And by you just sharing your story, enabling people to be like, man, I'm not alone. Wait a minute. If Eric could do this, then I know I could do this. So thank you so much for sharing this. This is so powerful.
No problem. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, as long as you have breath in your body, God is providing you the oxygen to breathe. It's no reason why you can't change. But your heart and your mindset. A lot of people don't know those two things are connected. So, once you make it up in your mind, your heart has to be strong enough for you to push through. Sometimes you have to do it, we say one day at a time, but sometimes you have to do it a second at a time, a minute at a time, but you're definitely going to have to take some numbers out of your phone. You're going to have to change, a lot of your surroundings and a lot of places that your feet are accustomed to being present in. You're going to have to cut all of that out.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You say being president right there in your world, like for real. That you can use that either for dating and when you're coming out of the dating field. You know what I mean? You used to dealing with all these people. Now it's time to cut these ties. You gotta cut them, let them go. If you want the newness for your life, you got to want it, you gotta claim it, and you gotta go after it. So that means you gotta cut off all the old people around you. If you in your relationships, and if you're doing drugs, or if you're doing anything that's going to hinder your greatness that's waiting for you, you got to cut that stuff off. You got to do some, you want new stuff, you got to do new things. I say things.
That's right.
So I really thank you. And like you said again, how can I get a hold of you one more time, please?
Yeah. So if you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's pretty much just how you see it, Life Structure with Eric. I also have a YouTube channel, same thing, Life Structure with Eric. Facebook as well. So all three platforms. Well, 4 platforms, because, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of my Life Structure with Eric. If you want to go to my website, once again, it's mylifestruction.com. Head over to my website, get my book, but also if you need to send me an email, if you would like information, like to do a little session with me, send me an email.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you, Eric.
Definitely. And thank you, Debbie. We finally were able to make this happen. So
yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And tell your husband, I hope he don't try to act like he don't know me now that he know my story.
I will share that with him. So this has been absolutely wonderful, y'all. I am Debbie Curry Speaks. You can find me on Debbie Curry Speaks on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook under Debbie Curry Speak. You can find me under Swag on Heaven, and you can find me on Swag on Heaven on Instagram and The Real Debbie Curry. Thank you so much, Eric. I am out of here. It's been a pleasure. I'm so glad we got to do this. And I hope that you guys were blessed by this, and this enabled you guys to be able to take what his life lesson was to be able to enhance your life lessons. Your girl is out of here. Love you guys. Thank you, Eric.
All right. See ya.
Trying to end all of my videos. Thank you guys so much for just being a blessing and listening. I hope this touched you guys. Thank you guys.